Okay, so quite a bit to talk about tonight. Uh, we'll start with Celtic, actually. I wasn't at the game, but, you know, that's probably a good thing because we got beat 2-0 at home off FC Braga. Braga, decent side, nothing special, probably about our level. That rhymed and I didn't mean it to rhyme. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Celtic right now. I thought we would win that game. I certainly didn't think we'd get beat. I thought a draw would have been a bad result. But to get beat 2-0, like I say, I didn't see I wasn't at the game. And I've not seen the full game. I watched the highlights on TNT earlier. And, it's the highlights, so it shows you the best bits. But I've seen enough to think that we were obviously in the game. I think the scoreline flatters Braga. Having said that, Braga had chances as well to make it more than two. So at the end of the day, I'm not complaining. My dad always says, "Hard luck doesn't jingle." It's a Scottish phrase. Like, what does it matter? Hard luck doesn't pay. And it's true. Listen. You make your own luck at this level. Good teams that are in the Europa League. The second tier of European football, let's be honest. But that's where we are at right now, us and Rangers. It's probably been generous to even say Rangers are in the second tier of European football. They got beat as well tonight, but I get no satisfaction out of that. I've said this before, I support Rangers in Europe. I support every Scottish team when they're up against an outsider. It's just for the Scottish contingent, that's how I look at it. But anyway, I'm blethering. I don't know, I think there's problems at Celtic. I mean, this is just pure speculation, but there's something not clicking now, And we're naive as fans to think that we are privy to all the goings on at the club. There's obviously, to me, it's no doubt, there's definitely things going on at the club. I don't know if it's the manager, I don't know. I would just be speculating. I don't know if it's the manager not giving his 100%. I don't know if some of the players are not playing for him. I really don't know. And it's irrelevant, really. I would just be speculating. And maybe there's nothing wrong in the background. Maybe it's just we're not performing right now. But bad result tonight. Like I said, I seen the highlights. We had chances. We never took them. I will say this, and I don't know how I forgot to mention this, but that VAR decision, and I'm honestly not just saying this because I'm a Celtic man, that's up there with the worst I've seen. And I mean that, the worst VAR decisions. How can you go see it on the camera, close up, and give that a handball? That boggles my brain. But listen, we didn't get it. The onus is then on us to go and get an equaliser at that point. And we never done it. So there's no point making excuses. The first goal, it was a good goal. It was a long range goal. It must have been about 30, 40 yards out. But I'm not a tactical genius. I'm not a football manager. But the boy that scored it, he gets the ball middle of the park, like I say, 35, 40 yards out. Too much space, too much time. He's got nobody around him, nobody even closing him down. Yes, it's very unlikely you're going to score from there, especially against, for me, what is still a top-class keeper in Schmeichel. But you don't even give them that chance, is my point. You close them down. To me, that's basics. But listen, I'm not one of these guys. I'm not going to sit here and start criticising tactics and the manager. Brendan Rodgers for me is a world class manager, and I actually think we're lucky to have him. But it's frustrating, you know. You see goals like that, especially when you think you can accept just being beaten by some class. And to be fair, it was a class goal, but it could have been avoided from Celtic's point of view. That's my point. By simply closing down, and you know, sticking to a man, basically. The boy had far too much time, far too much space, like I said. But listen, it is what it is. We move on from here. No point dwelling on it. But yeah, of course I'm disappointed. Bad result. Decent performance, I feel. But going back to that phrase, hard luck doesn't jingle. We go forward from here.